Welcome to the playground of the rich and famous. It is time for the Monaco Formula 2 feature and sprint race. Well, actually, a sprint and feature race. If you want to if you want to be accurate about this. Hello, everyone, and happy Hump Day to you all. Then, yes, it is round 6 of the Championship of Formula 2. ALR and Formula One world has missed the Monaco Grand Prix this season, unfortunately. But I have got everything crossed. They'll be back for season 10 next season, we hope then. But Formula 2 has not skipped out for Monaco, and we'll be in Spain next week. And apparently, there's a patch that is going to smooth out that very mysterious bump, which has caused so many problems for gold, silver, and bronze this week. But the Formula 2 guys and girls won't have to worry about that, will they? Yes, it is time for round 6 here in Monaco. Fantastic stuff indeed. Let's go for the teams and the teams in the Drivers' Championship. Troy leads the way, 11 points on 93 points in front of Lights, who's not racing tonight on 11. He was 11 back then. Luke in third position, and the gap is now 25 points separates Luke and Troy. Toy Coin then, of course, only made his debut a couple of races ago. Up in the fourth. Lucifer, brilliant drive so far in fifth position. He's been my start of the season. R2 beating sixth with Cirrus Mushroom. 7th, 8th is Nosey. Investier and Gamer, 9th and 10th position, who clashed actually last time out at Imola, didn't they? So hopefully there's no more clash in here tonight then. Teams Championship is the Carlin leads for 24 points in front of Campos in second. Virtuosi is third. ART, High Tech and Dams are all in at fourth position and all on 73 points then. So we'll see how that one transfers. Just watching Tuna going into San Devotano. Heroics, please. We have... Oh, he was, anyway. Now we're watching Luke. I wonder what happened there. 60 points for the MP Motorsport, but MP Motorsport does have a new recruit on their roster, which we'll talk about in just a jiffy. 53 points for Trident Charus in at 9th position on 26, and Prima on 24 at the moment. Very disappointed for their season so far. So as it stands, Swanshanks, who's making a Super Sub appearance tonight for the Dams team, is 19th at the moment. Cirrus Mushroom in the Campos is 18th, and Reflections in the MP Motorsport is currently 17th at this moment in time then. As we just go down into the New Val chicane then, albeit Luke is that's not going to count there for Luke. He's going to be disqualified then from this quali lap then. Percy is currently leading the way when it goes pole position. You get 2 points then for yourself and for the team's championship. And Toy Coin very close. Percy's had an issue. It's dropped all the way down the 13th then. So Percy was on the brink of pole position then. It's not going to get that now, is he? It is going to be Percy. As I think he unfortunately snuck. I think he quarter cut someone there. Investia is on pole position and at the place where you really want to be on pole position here in Monaco, and him and the High Tech team have got 2 points to their name already. Fantastic there from Investia, who of course is on a high after that incredible performance last night I should say, in the Spanish Grand Prix. He is on pole position there with Troy alongside him on row 1. Both High Techs then, who are 9th and 10th in the Drivers' Championship at the moment then, of having a cracking qualifying here, and they'll be first and third then. Pre-Mars, we've mentioned the Team's Championship, languishing right down in last, fourth, then the second Carlin of Knowlesy in 5th position as well. Good stuff indeed. It will be Sick as Mug and Jinner on the front row for the sprint race, which I think is 15 laps around here. It's a very short circuit is Monaco then, but a lot of undulations, a lot of trials and tribulations around here. Cannot wait to see how this one transpires. And only 11 cars actually qualified in that one. It's the rest, unfortunately, invalidated their times. Ooh. I do wish that we had a different Oh dear, Percy's left the session now. That's not good. And he may, if he leaves the session here and doesn't get back in for the formation lap, then he is going to not start the sprint race, which is heartbreak, isn't it? Because I was actually going to say that this is Percy. Oh my goodness me! We have got rain afoot here. This is not in the script, is it? Goodness gracious me! I was expected to be setting myself on the yacht then. Perhaps not. I'll probably be more of I'm not really a keen to Monaco, am I? If you look at me, I'm very much anything anything but a Monaco fellow. I probably belong in the woods then. However, rain afoot here in Monaco. I was going to say that Percy is the newest driver on the grid for MP Motorsport. I say newest driver. He's basically driven in every single race so far in Formula 2, which has been pretty impressive indeed. He's been a super sub up until this point. So his first race for the MP Motorsport, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to take the start here. And that's absolutely disappointing there for Percy. And I think I've just seen in a comment there that unfortunately Percy's he has just unfortunately been well, he says he has died there, but I hope it's not. I think that he has just got a problem with his console. Somebody's, oh gosh, and that's not good. Going into Mirabeau there for Sick as Muck then doing a formation lap around here, but Percy out of maybe out of the sprint race, I think, as well. Unfortunately, I was mentioning that Percy is the newest member to the MP Motorsport, but unfortunately, if he's not, because I think he's not in the lobby at this point in time. He's going to have to be a spectator like you and I. Sick as Muck is on pole position for the sprint. Jenner alongside him in the Virtuosi on row 1. Chewy in third position. This is a good opportunity now for the drivers that have struggled to score to get some good points, and especially in the rain as well. This is going to be very testing times out here. Bannister in fourth position, the Prima, which is basically both Primas are liveried in the Red Bull. Unfortunately, so we haven't got the beautiful livery in the Prima this season. Hopefully, we'll have if we do have a Formula 2 season next season, we'll hopefully see it then. R2 Beat is in the Dams car, followed by Knowlesy in 6th position, Kaidal in 7th, Gamer 8th, Troy in 9th, and Vessier in 10th position there. Remember, usually in the sprint race, we do see the drivers who are quite quick, do come through the field and do well in the sprint. However, they've got a bit more of a tougher time then, but let's see how this one transpires. Lucifer is in prime position in both the sprint and the feature race to have some really good points here. He will start 11th for both the sprint and the feature. Reflection in 12th position, Cirrus Mushroom in 13th, Swan Shanks in 14th there in the Dams. 15th is Percy, but he's out, unfortunately. 16th is Toy Coiner, right the way down the order here then. Goodness me, that's not good at all. Luke in 17th position there. I am scared of this track, Sean. Hold me. I certainly will, Luke, Dad, but unfortunately I can't fit in the car. Well, me and you can't fit in the car. I certainly can't fit in the car on my own anyway. And Percy has joined, but I do have a bad feeling that it might be in vain, unfortunately. Everyone on the wet tyres then, and here we go then for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, or the sprint, I say. Then look at the rain. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs here for the sprint. It is lights out, and it is go, go, go. What have we got here? The Bannister's already up the position there. Oh, goodness me, then you've got to make sure that barracks go to, like, clip you on the inside there. But no, they've all gone away safe and sound, have they? Goodness me, they haven't even. Mushrooms down 6 positions there. Luke is up 6 positions. Goodness me, didn't need holding at all, did he? He's flown through. And look at this, that yellow flag in the background. One of the cars is crawling his Swan Shanks there. And Troy trying to sneak through. Was that Kaidal? Sorry, it's Kaidal trying to sneak through. In the Prima, they've basically got so many Red Bull livery cars on circuit, and we've also got the two. Oh, and who's that off there? Was that Knowlesy going deep then into Mirabeau then to go into the Lowe's Hairpin, which I don't think it's called the Lowe's Hairpin anymore. Was it the Grand Hotel Hairpin? I'm not too sure. As they all try and squeeze their way through here, all over the curb and everything. Goodness gracious me. And who's that off then? Is someone I just single off then is Luke is up into 9th position. He is storming through the field then. A former championship leader in the early stage of this championship, and now all of a sudden, as oh goodness me, and I think the cut out almost went into the wall. Sickers must got a 3-second penalty already then. As look at this, and it's all scrambling over contact there, and who was that? And I'm not sure if that was oh gosh, goodness me, and Lucas Percy's AI. No, Lucas Percy's in this race. Goodness me, and that was me thinking he wouldn't be in this race, but he's taking control nicely, so he is back in the race. That is great stuff indeed as well then. Lucas Percy, though, has got a 5-second penalty for gaining position then. I think that was at the Nouvelle chicane then, potentially, as they go through to complete lap 1. A very action-packed lap 1 as well then, as Knowlesy has dropped to behind R2 Beat, and Knowlesy has dropped to a couple of positions here. Wondering then if that might be a bit of team orders. Don't get to see team orders much in Formula 2, do we? Well, Nosey would not have liked. And I think Nosey's been forced off in Sandefort and dropped down into 9th position. Now, Hasley Nosey has. Goodness me, and what's that? Luke is, I thought Luke was alongside there as we go up to the top of the hill of Massenet. And, well, I think it is anyway, is Percy is very much on a mission here, isn't he? He's going this way and that way, but Luke will not be deterred. Chewy is dropped down now. Chewy's going to drop down 2 positions. Troy sneaking up the inside into Mirabeau here. Chewy has had to back out then, and yellow flag then. Oh gosh, Sharon, look at this then. It's just a car park down the Lowe's hairpin here. The rain is coming down. There's a car up at the top of the hill. That's Fessier, who's going to be on pole position for the feature, but in the sprint he is unfortunately. Oh, and who's that? And Chewy, the back end, is very much trying to overtake the front here. Here comes Percy. Of course, his first full-time drive with the MP Motorsport. Lovely shot for the nose cone here at the Formula 2 machine. And now down into, Chewy's scampering off at the new power chicane there, which is not very new anymore. Also, a 3-second penalty as well. That's harsh. So Chewy also trying to let everyone through them. Toy Coin has made his way up into 11th position. And then absolute scenes here, and only on lap 2 here at the Formula 2 race. And magnificent. Oh, my word. Let me sit down. No, I can't. I'm going to have to stand back out because Troy is on the move as well. Knowles got a 3-second penalty. R2B, goodness gracious me. Formula Drift from R2B in the Dams car. And R2B is lost out there. He made a mistake there coming out of Raskas, and now he's dropped to 5th position. It may even be 6th because here comes Luke, who's up 11 positions already in the ART. Oh, goodness me. And Troy is in the wall. Troy has gone off into the wall. And there's banging wheels and so coming up into, oh my goodness me, Luke. That is Percy. That is R2B. And Troy's dropped all the way down there. Oh, Luke's gone wide. And Percy's going to go try and go up the inside here. Luke is going to, oh, God, have to get the fence back. And, goodness me, just about getting the car. So it's Sick as Muck, who was in the race, has gone off then. And there's a big old gap now, isn't there? Or was a big old gap between 3rd and 4th. For Sick as Muck, hopefully undamaged his car. Jinner takes the lead of this sprint race here in Monaco. It's all action here. My goodness, gracious me. Luke now, Luke and Percy flying through this field incredibly well. Troy getting damaged, and the Formula 2 leader in the championship down in 7th position now. I think he's got major damage in Sandefort. Jenner's got a 3-second penalty. All the top 3 have got penalties. Luke hasn't got a penalty. Percy's got a penalty as well. As Luke has scampered across there and has got a penalty as well now. A lot of penalties are going on out there. Gamer has dropped down into 9th position, or he's back up into 8th actually as they go side by side. And Gamer now into the points as well, flying through. Well, actually recovers from where he started actually. The high-tech team, the high-tech car does. Luke's got another penalty. 2 penalties in the matter of moments. R2B has just lost out to Troy, who is up into 6th position now. But look at the damage on that Carling car. Incredible stuff indeed. Bannister's got the fastest lap of the race, and the gap is actually almost 5 seconds between Bannister and Sick as Muck, even though they got 3-second penalties up in front. Percy and Luke is going to have to get. Oh, Luke's in the wall, and Percy's up into 4th position now. There. Oh dear, Luke is. That's a big blow because Luke was flying up there. Now it's Percy's turn then to really push as hard as he can. The gap at the front was, well, Bannister I think he's made a mistake somewhere because he's lost a second a bit. There he is in the foreground there. Is he struggling, Bannister is there? And this will be a good result there for himself and the Prima team if he can keep this car going. Highest position so far, I think, was actually in the sprint race as well, where he got 5th position, I believe, for Bannister. So at the moment, it's looking good. Percy, absolutely flying out there at the moment. Magnificent. And I was fearing the worst when Percy was off, was not in the session, the formation lap, but he's absolutely flown back through the field, hasn't he? And he's absolutely flying out there at the moment. They're locking up into the new Val chicane, and here's Toy Coin all over the back now. Kind out. Percy's got a penalty then, and goodness me, and Percy's actually got past Sick as Muck there. Goodness me, what's happened there? Sick as Muck dropping down the order, struggling. Sick as Muck is in the Trident car, as we got Troy also a glance, giving a bit of a glancing blow to the back barrier there. Gamer's got 3-second penalties as well. A lot of penalties out there at the moment. Yellow flag. What has happened? what has happened here then is just taking our feet. It's Knowlesy's all the way down to the back of the field then. So issues there for the Carling car of Knowlesy. That's disappointing. Jenner leads now by almost 4 seconds there from Bannister's second position. Now Percy is on a roll, isn't he there? But the penalty situation is this at the moment there. Percy 5 seconds of penalties plus another 3 seconds there for Percy. Then Bannister, who's got 3 seconds there. So Percy needs to basically stretch out a 5-second lead when he gets past Bannister. Yellow flag in one then. There's major issues at the back here as well as happened in the back then, and that's a car crawling off in the background now. It's Lucifer. Oh goodness me, in the Trident having issues. Then Cirrus Mushroom dropping down the order in the second Campos car. Vessier back in the 50th position. Good stuff from Vessier because we sit him very much down the escape route there. Toy Coin cannot get past Kai Dahlia. It's getting very close here. It's there. Neris Sloth making his first appearance in Formula 2 tonight. I haven't mentioned the super subs or the reserves just yet, have I? The subs there, who of course for Lights is not racing tonight. And of course for Swan Shanks as well. Bannister's got a 5-second penalty now. It's all status quo. Gino's got another 3-second penalty there. So the gap is up to 6 seconds now. Maybe I missed that actually because I can't remember seeing him. Now, Troy's got another penalty as well, up to 6 seconds as well. Goodness gracious me, lovely shot for the nose cone there of Toy Coin then. I'm not sure what's going to happen, if the rain is going to stop or not, and I'm wondering then if these tyres, remember what happened in Australia is very much intermediate territory. We have no intermediates in Formula 2, and I'm wondering then if the tyres are going to very much be burnt out like they was in Australia. Remember in Australia it was better to stay on the slick tyres there, albeit very, very gingerly indeed. But it was the quicker tyre. I'm wondering if anyone may take the gamble of the track. I think it's far too wet for slicks at the moment, and the wet tyres are probably the quicker tyre. Gamer up the inside, beat off the circuit, and Kaido is also going to have a go for it as well. No, he isn't then, he cannot get through at the moment, and Toy Coin up into 9th position, and brave stuff from the Campos car as Bannister's dropped down into 3rd position. Now Percy up into 2nd now, 2 seconds, 3 seconds away from the race here at the moment. There Percy is there. He still has to catch, pass it, it beat into the wall at Mirabeau, I think. And now he's got the inside, well, he's backed out there. R2P has a very wise stuff indeed here in Monaco. As you see, the Formula 2 cars are struggling to get around that corner, and goodness gracious me. Action, drama, and intrigue in this sprint race at the moment. Golly gosh now. Again, sorry with Gamer, I must admit, I was going to think, oh, look at that, locking up both tyres there. Gamer was there, just about stopped the high-tech car, but I thought he was going to go into the back of Troy in a very vicious circumstance. I think that Charles Leclerc did something similar, but he had a brake-by-wire failure in 2018, didn't he, in the Sauber team. I think he went to the back of Brendan Hartley, wasn't it, I think, potentially. I can't remember that far back, to be honest. I'm getting old these days. Six months they're currently in 4th position, and the same amount of penalties as the drivers behind him. And Swan Shanks has unfortunately been given a slap on the wrist. Luke is in the pits, and there's major problems for Luke then. And let's see what Luke goes on then. There is the ART team getting out and ready for him. Is still the wet tyres then, and I'm wondering then if the wet tyres are falling off then as well. So potentially we will have pit stops in a sprint race, which is not mandatory, but oh, Chewy almost into the wall there and just about got it stopped. And Percy is now alongside Jinner, going for a lead here in Monaco then. Oh, contact there between Jinner and Percy then, as they are going very gingerly around here. Percy is trying to overtake that. And who's that? Sick as fuck. It's gone right. It's Mirabeau again now. I'm sure that he's been down there a couple of times. And unfortunately, Sick as fuck now out of the points then. He's still, anything can happen in this race still then. And it usually does here in Monaco then. Let's just take a look at the tyre strategy at the moment then. Pit stops for R2B for Luke, and I think it's just them two at the moment, wasn't it? On board with Percy once again. He's all over the back of the Virtuosi car of Jinner. Jinner would love to get a win then here in this one there. Jinner, 10 points so far. Not much to write home about in Formula 2 for Jinner, but he's been pretty impressive in silver, hasn't he? Jinner has done this. An opportunity now for Jinner to really get his championship off to a start. Sick as Muck there is completely cut the chicane somewhere, but he still looks like, I don't know how then, because He is looking like he's still in the new Val chicane. Oh, Jinner has actually decided to pit here. So he's into the pits now then. So it is another strategical call then. Virtuosi then, of course, only one mechanic per tyre here. Virtuosi, great stuff indeed then. It's still impressive to see. And he comes out of the pit lane now. Troy is hanging out there at the moment there, isn't he? But when Troy comes in the pits, they're going to have to change. I'm sure that you'll have to change the wing. This is crucial for Jinner because I'm wondering if Percy has seen this gaggle of cars. But at the moment now, well, he's in 8th position there. But I feel that with those new tyres, he's going to be quite quick then. Into the pits comes the Trident of Sick as Muck then, as you can see then. And they changed the nose cone. They've also had to, they're also on newer wet tyres that Verflex. They're absolutely flying out of the pit lane. Goodness gracious me. But Percy leads. Bannister in second position. Lovely shot there. I wonder if anyone's... I reckon that some of the field is going to probably try and stay out. It's around half distance now in this sprint race. I think that there will be a lot of drivers that is thinking, let's give it a go and try and stay out. I'm surprised at the moment there's no safety cars. Remember though, I think on the last game and the game before, that we don't have safety cars in event 1. I wonder if that might be the same for Formula 2 as well. Toy Coin now in the 5th position. A great drive so far from Toy Coin. Brilliant job from Percy. A really good 17th person near the back of the field, right up into the lead of this race. And I'll look at the actual gaps for that later on in this one. We're going to keep an eye on the gaps for the fresh wet tyres and the old wet tyres. And then I think that Sick as Muck there, Reflex has already shown the pace there as he's got past Lucifer, but I think Lucifer is limping wounded in this race at the moment. So I'm not sure if that's a fair representation there. A lot of penalties in this one. Goodness gracious me. On board now with Cardia again, and Percy has stayed out for another lap then. I think that Percy's thinking then the track position may be key around here. I think it's key as well then. We'll see how this one transpires. But Jinner is so much quicker than the cars in front of it at the moment there. So he's taking chunks out of the drivers around him pretty emphatically, that'll do. But I think the question here is, can he get past? And I'm not going to be honest. I do has my reserves into the pits. Now comes Swanshanks and Serious Mushroom also into the pits as well. Yellow flag then as is Bannister in second position there. He's gone off down the escape road. It's reserved for Rosberg, but Bannister has decided to get his parking reservation in. He hasn't got damage, I don't think now. And once again, and Sloth and Jinner had an issue done there. Maybe. Well, Sloth has now got damage there, hasn't he, on the Virtuosi? Oh dear, as that looks Percy is now about 11 seconds on the road then after that issue there. And look at this, it's Troy, who's not actually, that's how far away Bannister was then. They are still about 3 seconds away, and then Troy is going to have to really start to repel here. Gamer once again, not quick enough then down into the new Val chicane here before accelerating out. But Gamer's had a good, I thought, that camera shot really foreshortened that, didn't it? And I thought that it was going to be a bit more, he was going to be a bit more alongside the moment there, but this could be damage limitation for Troy tonight there. Where is Jinner then? Now here us, and he's the highest runner. Yellow flag in 2 and 3. Jay Higgs is off the circuit, out of the race, and he's the second reserve driver here tonight. And he's gone straight on it to back there, and there is a safety car now. And unfortunately for Jay Higgs, had a nightmare race so far on lap 9. And so safety car later on in this race, so this is going to get interesting. Into the pits now comes... That's dry tyres. That's dry tyres then for Troy, eh? Have I knocked the tyres strategy off? No, I haven't. I can't see it then. That's why. Troy, the only driver going on dry tyres. Everyone else is staying on wet tyres. So Troy has not changed his wing either. Then the championship leader has gone on dry tyres, and also Toy Coin has gone on dry tyres as well. So has Sloth on soft tyres here. Super soft is the purple mark tyres. Soft is the red mark tyres here. Now this is going to be interesting. So safety car is out at the moment. Percy's got a 15-second gap. Then this is not it's not an opportunity this time there for Jinner to. Well, I think that Jinner is going to. I don't think he's going to take the lead. Unfortunately, the gap is quite big there. It's almost 26 seconds here, and I doubt that. I think the pit lane lost it, and when their safety car is minus 10 seconds of the normal race time. So I would hazard a guess that. Whoa! Stop raining. No, it's very, very light now, isn't it? But I do feel that it's still too wet for the slick tyres. Personally, we're on board Troy once again in the karting racing car. He's currently struggling even under the safety car here. So I think that this is a golden opportunity then for us. Oh, R2B has been given a penalty for speeding the pit lane. Toy Coin has also got a penalty as well. This is a golden opportunity for Percy coming in the pit lane. He's got a drive-through penalty, Percy. He's going to be kicking himself with that. I'm wondering if he accelerated just before the line there, and now he's also going on. He's got a 5-second penalty plus slick tires is going on the car. But Percy, who is commanding this race, has got a drive-through penalty. He's been incredible in this sprint race, but this is going to be heartbreaking for the MP Motorsport. Bannister, I think, is going to get out behind him. You know that there is. No, he isn't. There he is. And Bannister leads this Monaco sprint race here with just 4 laps to go. Percy, my goodness gracious me. The gap is still 14 seconds there. Troy is hanging it out there. I'm not sure if the slick tires is the right way to go. But remember, I have been wrong so many times, haven't I? In all kinds of form of ALR racing. This is probably not going to be a change era. Where is the safety car? It's just before the new Val chicane moment. So I reckon the safety car will be. I don't think we'll get the whole of the crocodile caught up here. Here's Sickers Mutt then on these soft tires. I'm just taking it's a good opportunity then to see how quick is he quicker than the no, they're back in the pits, and that's new soft tyres there on for reflections. Knowlesy has stayed out, and Knowlesy's back into 11th position. It was a nightmare race for Knowlesy just a minute ago. Luke is also going for fresher super soft compound as well. So Sickers Muck is, well, he first made mistakes away. But look at this, Bannister is now the leader of this race. Fantastic on lap 11, and there's Bert Mylander. The rain has stopped. So, we've got a very deep, wet tyre out there at the moment. No intermediate tyres, which is probably the preferred tyre. So, I think that the advantage is still with the wet tyres at the moment. But that is going to change quite dramatically, especially with 18 cars still running around this course and just throwing this water back up into the sky. Jinner is on the wet tyres at the moment there, Jinner is. We'll take a look at the penalty situation from the last lap or two. On board though, Jinner, he's quicker. Look at that then, his Percy is, looks like he's crabbing there, doesn't he? His Percy looks like he's got suspension failure. But I don't think that that's exactly what's happening there, is it? But goodness gracious me, that car is looking very excitable indeed. Troy currently in 4th position by then, but then we got Gamer, Kaidal, Toy Coin, Chewy, Sloth. The gaps are so big as well, so I think a lot of drivers have also gambled on wet tyres, on dry tyres when the track is still quite wet out there at the moment. Watching Bannister then, 7 seconds the gap is at the moment. If the safety car came in now, my guess, which is a complete guess to be fair, because I have no earthly idea what's going on, I think that the wet tyres will be quicker at this stage of proceedings. If the safety car stays out for one more lap, I reckon that it could go to the slick runners then potentially. But let's find out, shall we? That's the beauty of live motorsport. But I think the person will be praying that the safety car stays up for one more lap, whilst Bannister and Jinner will be hoping the safety car comes in. And there's a bit of pickup there on the inside shoulder of the right front tyre of Bannister's car. And now it's just a bit of marbles there, because these wet tyres are probably shredding quite quickly now, with especially how little water there is there. These wet tyres like puddles, and there is no puddles out there anymore. There it is, and the track is still quite wet indeed, then, or quite damp, as Jinner has taken the lead. Sorry, he hasn't. He's taken a second position here, and it got past, and I think that's just showing how much they're struggling, how much Percy's struggling on the dry tyres. And Troy has only gained a second on these drivers in front then, albeit, yeah, they have to adhere to the delta. Ginner's got another penalty as well, and Sickers Muck has got a penalty. We are still so spread out under the safety car here, because everyone's got all kinds of tyres out there. Safety car is staying out there. That is crucial, because another lap that the safety car stayed out there, that means it's a lap less that Bannister could be able to get, extend this lead with just 3 laps to go in this sprint race. Then hold on to your hats, everyone. This is going to be a grandstand finish, I am sure of it. And now that, so as you can see Percy really strong. Jenner all over the back of Percy. Now he wants to get going. I reckon that Jenner might fancy his chance of winning this race as well. And here is the gaggle of Troy, Gamer, Kaidao, and Toy Coin about 8 seconds back. Also on the dry tires as well. 3 laps to go in this race. Troy, it feels like a race, doesn't it? They're all over the back of Troy here. They have to adhere to the delta. They cannot race too quickly up to the back of the safety car. Albeit, I reckon that a lot of drivers are well below the delta, just because, well, the dry tires are well below the delta, just because how slippery it is out there. No grip there, so going to the Lowe's hairpin. And I think Percy there, he's got a drive-through penalty as well. I forgot about that. So really, it's still advantage Bannister. Whatever happens in this race, Percy got a drive-through penalty as Reflections is back in the pits here. He's gone back on the wet tyres, Reflections has there. So Reflections going back onto the wet tyres, and as he's now coming out of the pits, and this might be a shrewd call, a shrewd manoeuvre here for a strategy. We'll find out now then, as the track is still quite wet then, but the track dries out quite quickly, doesn't it, on certain occasions. Let's see if it happens here tonight. And safety car has still got its lights on. There's Troy, who is, they're finally called up. Troy's got a 20, I don't believe that for a second. He's not done that on purpose, but it's a 20-second penalty for Troy. That is absolutely rubbish, I think. Of course, we've also got a query whether there is an actual speeding issue for Percy as well, but unfortunately, Slough has got a 3-second penalty as well. Got a lot of penalties, but that is basically all but ended Troy's chance here. We'll see how this one transpires. Safety car is in. The track is still very much damp, isn't it? Let's get going. 2 more laps to go. Can Bannister get his first win of his career in Formula 2? And this will be a but this will be incredible for himself and the Prima team. Here comes Jenner then. He's already alongside Percy into turn 1 then. Yes, that just shows how quick. Look, Troy's already lost out here. Troy's going to go scampering off and into the wall, and Troy out of the race there. So that 20-second penalty, which I think he'll probably be fuming about, to be honest there. So Chewy's also through as well, and up into 6th position here. Knowlesy, no, he hasn't actually. He's back down. I think he must have got caught under the yellow flag there. There's going to be a lot of drivers going to be pretty upset about some of the stewarding going on here. It's not the ALR stewarding, of course, because that's almost perfect. Well, it would be. I've got to say, yeah, it is always perfect, isn't it? Of course, unless I'm doing it, obviously, which I think the ALR admins would never let me do it, would they? But as that gamer now up in the third, then, as Percy's just dropping like a stone, isn't he? Vet's got a 5-second penalty for speed in pit lane. The dry tyre gamble has not paid off at all. Vet's out of the race then, but he does start on pole position for the feature race, and Bannister's got a 3-second penalty here now. Then let's take a look at the penalties. Yes, Junior's only got 9 seconds, and Gamer could be on course to win his first race of the season in Formula 2. I tell a lie. It'll be his second sprint race win of the season. He's just got to keep it dry, really, doesn't he? And on there, and on the black stuff, really, which are the tarmac here, because the track is still very saturated indeed. Bannister has escaped, the clutches of Jenner just for the moment. And on the following lap here, and Bannister leads, and he could be on course for a great podium here. I think the win is out of the question with the amount of penalties going on up there, and I think it is this man Gaiman is going to get his second sprint race win of the season. He is flying up there because Jenner is very slow at the moment there. Percy, I think, is going to take his drive-through on the last lap, I think, then. Well, maybe even actually afterwards. And they might just add 25 seconds onto Percy's time here. Yellow flag in 3. Luke is out of the race as well. It's a nightmare race for a lot of the top brass in Formula 2. The inside goes Gamer then. He's gone in too deep then into Mirvo. Jenner's come back then. They are fighting here. This is not what what Bannister once said. Who is that? That's Kaidal up in the 4th. Goodness gracious me. Sickenberg has got a 10-second penalty here. 4 retirements in this one. Gamer is now 3 seconds away, but of course, as long as he is within 11 seconds of Bannister, he should still win the sprint race here, which has been an absolute doozy of a sprint race indeed, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me, this has been fantastic. He's just slowing it down now as the new Bell chicane here. Percy still dropping, unfortunately, there. You can't even see him now, can you? The dry tyre gamble, unfortunately, didn't pay off for some drivers out there. Very unlucky indeed, but it's definitely worth a gamble, wasn't it? But unfortunately, it was a gamble too much here. Oh, Gamer's into the wall then, but goodness me, that was... Oh, he's in the wall again here, and Jitter then coming back at him then as well, as Jitter's pushing Gamer as they come out of Rascas here. Goodness gracious me. Kaidal's also got 9 seconds as well. Can Kaidal get on the podium here? Bannister's going to cross the line first then, but unfortunately it's going to be penalties then, and it's going to be Gamer that wins the sprint race here, his second sprint race win of his career, with the Prima team who've had a nightmare start to the Formula 2 season. Have got third and fourth. That's magnificent stuff indeed. Percy, oh goodness me. Percy then, of course, a 20-second penalty for an unserved drive-through. I thought it would be 25 seconds to be honest there. But he is fifth. Then Knowlesy gets into a very fine sixth position there. Knowlesy seventh and Toy Coin in sixth position. And can't serious much in there. He might be a bit stretched then for him to get in front of Percy here. He can, you know. Lucifer is gained up into 7th position there. So Lucifer, who's had a nightmare race then, all of a sudden then right at the very end jumped up 3-4 positions. Magnificent for the Trident car. But it is Gamer getting his second sprint race win of the season, and he will be very happy for himself in the high tech there. He looked very good in the qualifying session, but in this one, but in the race, and he's definitely going to be happy with that, isn't he? His teammate Vester will be on pole position then for the feature, along with Gamer third. Then High Tech are looking very strong here tonight, and this is a golden opportunity to reel in the championship leaders. Vester said, "Well, that was carnage." It really was indeed. It was a very entertaining race. I very much enjoyed that. I don't think a lot of the other drivers did that. A lot of penalties to probably discuss, and maybe at the end of this one there. Troy got a 20-second penalty there for being too far back, which is ridiculous to be fair, because he was on dry tyres then, and he was probably struggling with temperature as well. I think the other one is probably the drive-through penalty for Percy. It looked like he got it just as he got into the pit lane, or just before he got into the pit lane. So I'm wondering if he was just very much too far against the Delta, maybe. That remains to be seen. Then we'll probably be investigated after the race if Percy reports it, of course. Well, that's just one race down. We've got one more to go here, haven't we? Goodness gracious me then. And there is Gamer then, aloft on top of the podium, on top of the world. Fantastic there for Gamer. Really well done indeed then, and that was a pretty phenomenal drive, and High Tech then getting their second race win of the season, their second sprint race win of the season as well, courtesy of Gamer. Spraying the bubbly, Primo going to be on top of the world after their appalling start to the season. Bannister, what could have been if he kept those penalties down, he could have got a podium, and maybe even his first ever race win in Formula 2 as well, but he's still got the feature race to come then. There it is, and of course, Vesser getting 2 points for pole position. Good stuff indeed then. However, the feature races like this, and Gamer from 8th to win that race. And Jitter got second in the end today, but for himself and Virtuoso, but be happy with that. Kaidal, brilliant drive to third, and with Bannister to fourth as well. Chewy in fifth, good points for Chewy. Sixth position, Toy Coin there. Seventh position, Lucifer. No penalties at all for Lucifer. That is why he jumped so high up the field. Magnificent. Knowlesy in 8th position. Sirius Mushroom 9th. Percy in 10th, but got fastest lap. Lemon Swanshanks 12th. Slot 13th. Reflections. RTB in 14th. Sickers Muck in 15th. Retirements was Luke, Troy, Bessier, and Jay Higgs all retired from this sprint race here in Monaco. Magnificent stuff indeed. Well, that's more like it, isn't it, here in Monaco? A bit, well, it's a bit shady out there, isn't it? I must say, bit of blasphemy there for Farf in the comments there, but those penalties is Farf's main concern there, isn't it? There was a lot of penalties as well, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me. Believe it or not, I think Farf's actually going to be on commentary next time ALR's with you, which will be on Sunday night. I'm not sure. I think the Pillars might be joining him, but I'm not sure about that yet. But that's going to be interesting indeed, isn't it? I will probably watch that race Monday morning then, because I think that's going to be a fantastic race. And of course, we're in Canada this Sunday. We're in Canada this Sunday as well, so looking forward to that as well. Of course, Knowlesy is going on a wilder break, then he's going on holiday, and he's told me several times, I can't remember where he's going, so shocking behaviour by me. to be honest, I can't even remember what I had for dinner, to be fair. Actually, I do remember. I've decided to push the boat out and have some barbecue chicken drumsticks there. I hope I don't have to. I hope I didn't have to cook them, because otherwise I'm gonna get food poisoning in the morning. But apparently you can eat hot or cold then, so that would do me. But yeah, I had some barbecue chicken drumsticks, but which is lovely. But I don't think I can have everything on them, because I think that my belly's already gurgling, and I don't really want to be spending most of my day on the in the facilities tomorrow. Vessier, pole position then, of course, 2 points out for Vessier. Great day so far for High Tech, getting the sprint race. Can they get the feature race win as well, courtesy of Vessier? Gamer's got 2 wins to Vessier's none at the moment now, so Vessier would like to put that right, I'm sure of it. And I'm wondering if they might be aiming for a top 2 finish here, but they did come to blows in Imola, didn't they, a week ago? So hopefully they've plastered things up after that. So Vessier, pole position there. Troy alongside him on row 1. Third position is Gamer. Kaidal in 4th. Knowlesy 5th. R2B in 6th. Bannister is 7th. Chewy is 8th. Jinner is 9th. Sickersmuck is 10th. Lucifer, no penalties last night. Earlier on, he got 7th position there. Reflections 12th. Mushroom 13th. Swanshanks in 14th. Percy incredibly quick in the sprint. Probably could have won that race. 16th position Toy Coin then. Very much out of sync there for the Campos. 17th is Luke. 18th is Sloth, and 19th is Jay Hinks, who's having a bit of a difficult time in Formula 2 as of recently. But hats off to Jay Hinks, who's racing every single F2 race this season as well. So brilliant stuff. Good commitment there from Jay Hinks. If we're all lined up on the grid now, preparing ourselves for the start. The red lights will come on one at a time, and then they will then stay on randomly between 1 and 5 seconds-ish, or something like that, and then we'll be lights out, and we'll be go, go, go in the Principality of Monaco. I have a secret advantage for this race. Mwahaha. Luke is suggesting there in the comments there. Well, he's down in 17th at the moment, so let's see what it is. Or what if it won't be a rocket ship then? That is illegal. Right, 4, 5, pause! Go! And it's a good start down turn 1. Vessier's on the cracking side. Troy's on the outside! No, Troy's on the outside and takes the lead! And Vessier's gone from 1st to 3rd in the twinkling of an eye. It's a short run down in turn 1, and Troy has taken off incredibly well. So is Percy, who's up into 11th position there. Troy leads, 2nd is Gamer, 3rd is Vessier, Kaidan in 4th, Knowlesy in 5th position there, and oh goodness me, Knowlesy going very deep and almost into the barrier there. R2B then trying to sniff on the outside of Knowlesy there. Knowlesy's probably going to give him a royal squeeze on the outside there, and what is that going on down there? Is that the 2 MP Motorsports? That's also Toy Coin in the Campos as well. Remember, Percy and Toy Coin came to blows very heavily, and Imola coming out of the pit lane. Oh, I've swallowed my tongue. And now here comes Luke then, a secret weapon. Let's see what Luke's secret weapon is. And as he's going on the outside then, and passes Reflections. Great maneuver there from Luke. And Bannister is bumping and grinding with Jinner here. Goodness gracious me, as they come out of the new Bow chicane now. And as they fly underneath me now. And they fly underneath me now. It's a beautiful scenery, picturesque scenery here in the Monaco harbour. And as I come out to complete lap 1, 21 laps around here this time rather than 15, but it felt like 21 just a moment or two ago. And sick as muck there is being pushed and squeezed there. Actually, sorry, it's Chewy that's being pushed and squeezed. So those cars look very similar, the Charus and the Trident behind, don't they? But now what can Percy do then? Percy's already considered the gap is 2 seconds already for a couple of cars up in front of him, so he needs to get past them pronto here. Percy does that if he wants to keep in touch there. But the moment Troy has absolutely flown away in the feature. He is, and contact there with Chewy and Sickersmuck is through, passes Chewy, and what about Percy up the inside to Mirabo as well, and going very wide then is Sickersmuck then, but Percy is through, and up into 10th position there as well as contact there is I think the Chewy's going to the back of the MP as they're getting very concertina down there. No, goodness gracious me, not a very, it's a very narrow in here indeed. Luke has now been to 12th position, and Chewy's had an appalling couple of corners there, dropped from 10th to 13th, I think, there in the matter of, in the space of, for a couple of corners there. Which is Chewy is goodness me, I wonder if he misjudged his braking point there, down into 40th position. He had a good sprint, but the feature race has started off pretty difficult there for the Charus car, and Lucifer up into 15th position. Now Lucifer had a pretty difficult start as well, but unfortunately it's not as bad as Serious Mushroom or True then, as Troy says fast up the race, absolutely flying away with Gamer in second, Vessier in third. Vessier's going to be kicking himself at the start. We'd like to know what happened at the start there. It's the shortest run down to turn one, but he was, his initial launch seemed alright, but he just got absolutely swamped at the start, didn't he? Toy Coin now all over the back of Luke, going into Saint Devot. Now Luke then, who's look at Toy Coin, he's going this way and that way, but Luke is not going to be driving with his wing mirrors here, is he? He is going to be looking forward there, because that's what he needs to do. He needs to look forward here. Of course, they got to get past Sick as Mug, don't they? Sick as Mug seems to be the mobile chicane. Well, I say that's probably a bit unfair on Sick as Mug's point of view. Oh, as they're getting very close to getting into Mirabo here, and once again, then he's going to get... Oh, I love this shot. Look at that, and that's a beautiful shot of Toy Coin's beautiful Campos car. Magnificent stuff. Now coming into Portier, as it always feels like they're drifting, don't they, around here at the moment, as they go into the tunnel, and of course the famous Monaco tunnel, isn't it, here? And at the moment then, of course, you do lose downforce, and there's no DRS in the tunnel, of course. There is DRS. Oh, and Sick as Fuck there! And Luke's got a penalty for that then. Sick as Mug unfortunately clipped the inside barrier. I'm surprised that not a lot more people do that, to be honest. It's so easy to do, but Sick as Mug has lost 3 positions there. Luke got a penalty, and I think, to be fair, he was actually taking evasive action. Toy Coin has lost out to Sloth somehow. Toy Coin has now got a 5-second penalty for getting an advantage there, and I'm wondering if that was the advantage there for trying to avoid Sick as Mug's stationary car, the Nouvelle chicane, potentially. I'm just guessing there. Percy said the fast off the race, he is now flying up into 9th position now. Percy said he was quick in the sprint race, wasn't he, in the wet conditions. He seems to be quick in the dry conditions as well, doesn't he, for Percy, and at the moment he has stayed more or less out of trouble, which is good stuff indeed. Then Lucifer, who's now all over the back of Reflections, are on board with the Trident car. Lucifer, of course, no penalties at all in the sprint, which elevated himself right up into 7th position, and 2 points for himself on the Trident car, which is beautiful stuff indeed. As Troye has got 2.2 second lead over Gamer in 2nd position, with Vessier in 3rd. Up the inside for Lucifer, thinks better of it, and is look how slow it is. It's pedestrian like down into the Lowe's hairpin. My goodness me, it's like after you, my gentleman there. It's very, very slow indeed. Jenner's out of the race. Oh, the front left wheel has been ripped off of the car. I think he's clipped the inside barrier, similar to what Sick as Mug did just a few moments ago. The car has been cleared, no safety car, but Jenner from a points paying position out of the race, out of the feature, and that is disappointing for Jenner after he got some decent points. But Jenner, unfortunately, be very disappointed with how this one has transpired tonight. Person now into 8th position and all over the back of Bannister. Bannister then, of course, great drive then to 4th, and he technically won the race. Well, he didn't technically win the race. He crossed the line first, didn't he, in the sprint race, but he did have penalties, and because he had penalties, that cost him his first ever race win in Formula 2. However, and it also cost him a podium spot, but I think that hopefully he can use that momentum now to really help Prima and himself out in terms of getting some points. Like Prima were last in the Teams Championship. They should be elevated up the order quite significantly then with that 3rd and 4th position then. And now Kaidal's already in 4th in this race. He's 2.2 seconds back. That's what's gone on here at the is it Mirabo, and Sick as Mug is unfortunately dropping down the order here. Cirrus Mushroom having a good old look then, but it's probably one of the worst places you could be here in Monaco. Is near the back of the field, and Bannister going to defend on the inside, so Percy on the outside. Great maneuver there. Oh goodness me, but unfortunately Bannister, well, I'd say great maneuver there, but Bannister did kind of get caught up there. It's very difficult to overtake around here. Toy Coin's got another 3-second penalty, as it was getting very close in this battle for between Sloth and Toy Coin, and Luke also in the facility as well. So top 10 that scores the points in the feature. Top 10 that scores the points in the feature tonight. See, look at the Toy Coin very much on the rev limiter, isn't it? You're probably not on the rev limiter very often around here, are you? But Toy Coin is certainly revving these beautiful Mechachrome engines out there out the second part of the swimming pool for Toy Coin, but he's a bit too far back at the moment. But Sloth isn't there. He's having a look on the inside of Luke, but Luke has the advantage on there. The problem with these, from this circuit, and a lot of street circuits to be fair, is of course you're always going to be on the power a car's width behind, well, any track really, a car's width behind a car's width behind the car in front of us, which is about the field spread as well. The field spread ain't bad at the moment. Vesser has really started to home in on his teammate now. Of course, I would say that team orders in Formula 2 is probably not as going to be. It's not going to be high on the agenda as it maybe is in Formula 1 potentially. But we've got Nosey in 5th position there, also keeping Kaidal very much at arm's length as well in a 5th position there. But yeah, the rest of them are quite spaced out at the moment, apart from this battle here. And of course, Jay Higgs all over the back of his teammate Chewy at this moment in time. Then of course, we are expecting pit stops here, and again, I am quite surprised. Oh goodness me, that's chicken. I'm quite surprised that no one's gone for the alternative strategy, or am I surprised? And it's very difficult to overtake around here as Sloth get a bit squirrely then out to the back corner, and a glance and blow with the inside swimming pool there. Of course, you can name basically name any F1 driver. They have had a glance and blow there, haven't they? Over the course of their career, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Stoffel Van Dorn, the list goes on, doesn't it? There. Also, Hightower French did as well. I'm sure that that's a driver that all of you remember. I certainly love Hightower French. I think he's on Beyond the. I think he's on Beyond the Pit Lane podcast or something like that, which I really want to listen to be honest. Because Frentzen, I must admit, Frentzen was quite. He was very much quite a mainstay in Formula 1 when I first started watching it, way back in the 1950s, it feels like, doesn't it, sometimes. But no, Frentzen, of course, in 99 then, impressed, one of the best seasons you'll probably see in Formula 1 99, of course. Unfortunately, well, what is unfortunate is, of course, Michael Schumacher breaking his leg, which basically ruled Ferrari out of the championship, or it should have done there, but Irvine, against all odds there, challenged Mika Hakkinen right to the final race in Japan that season. Only 16 races that season. Frentzen was very much in the ball, was very much in the game right up until the Nürburgring, where he was he leading the race or second there? He just came out of the pits and his car had failed, didn't it, in that the Jordan Mugen Honda, and that virtually ended his championship challenge there, unfortunately, as well. And also in the Coulthard as well, unbeknownst to me. And that's a great manoeuvre there from Jay Higgs on his teammate on the outside to back there. Brilliant stuff there. And that is a well-executed manoeuvre there from Jay Higgs. He is now up into 14th position. And great stuff indeed. I love that. That is very much... That's very much taking your time. You have to be patient in this race here in Formula 2, don't you? And certainly Jay Higgs was brilliant racing there from both the Charus cars. Chewy there, of course, I don't think Chewy did the very sensible thing as well as he thought. He doesn't want to get goals down to himself and his teammate, and thought better of it then. But I think that's very sensible indeed then, because this race at the moment then is a bit of a lull in proceedings here in the feature. Just to say that, off almost into the back of a Luke. Of course, I wonder what Luke's secret weapon is. Well, whatever he's done a very good job so far. He's moved himself up into 9th position. He's in the points, which is very good indeed. So I think he should be very, very happy with his day's work so far. Albeit he's now a bit of a cork in the bottle here with Sloth and Toy Coin very much all over the gearbox as well. Percy's progression, he has moved himself up into 7th position now, as Sloth has got a 3-second penalty there, and unfortunately that's a slam dunk for Sloth, because we was watching him, and goodness me, Percy, well, Percy's now all over the back of R2B, trying to go on the outside of Rascasa, R2B having none of that then. So I wonder if Percy might go up and down to go for a slingshot then out of Anthony Noakes, and R2B then, who has got the outside now. Percy's positioned himself at the inside, and I think Percy threw and up into 6th position. I don't think R2B was too concerned with that, because he knows that his race there is a bit different than to Percy's at the moment now. However, of course, just because he's letting by at this instance, I do not think that this one's all done and dusted. Just wait for R2B, then he could come back later on in this one. Anything can happen in Monaco. Cirrus Mushroom, who is currently giving Chewy some cause for concern. Now is it Cirrus Mushroom, lovely helmet design as well. I mentioned last night on the bronze broadcast. A lovely helmet again here tonight then for Cirrus Mushroom. Currently giving Chewy some cause for concern in the second Charus car. Of course, Charus are second to last in the team's championship. I think they'll be last at the end of this one, with Prima doing a very good job then. Both cars scored in the sprint and maybe in the feature race as well. And Swan Shanks has gone off. He's left his wing now, and Swan Shanks then in Mirabel then, and that's a lot of damage there for the Dams car. and unfortunately that's going to be a pit stop there, and he will be going on to the super stop. But I was actually talking about the tyre strategy earlier on, wasn't I, before I was rudely interrupted by myself. Jay Hicks got a 3-second penalty into the pits, and talking of tyre strategy, we have Lucas Perch in the pits. There's the MP Motorsport car mechanics going to work then, and here they go then, expertly drilled, and on the super softs already. I was going into some mindset, is they going to come to the pits early? Can the tyres take it? Yes, they can. And a lot of drivers have done their homework, unlike this commentator who never does his homework then, which probably upsets the admins knowing then. Toy Coin coming into the pits then, and I think that's that 5-second penalty for gaining an advantage there, which he was trying to take evasive action, I believe. He comes out of the pits now, then also Swanshanks crawling into the pits well. So at least for Swanshanks' point of view, he's that's on a decent part of the race then. Sloth is really trying to pressurise Luke now, as Luke is also very close to the back of Bannister here. So Bannister, who's really all of a sudden dropped into the clutches of these this battle here, aren't they? So Luke has now started to look forward rather than look back then. So the undercut here could be monstrous. However, for Percy and for Toy Coin and for Swanshanks to a certain degree, Swanshanks, oh, contact there into the new valve chicane there. A bit of rubbing there for Luke, but he's okay. Bannister not happy as he's giving him a weave, and now he's going very acute then into, oh no, that's more contact there, and I think that Bannister is probably feeling a bit aggrieved about the contact, and I think that I'm wondering that if he was a bit distracted there potentially, but unfortunately they both come together into the back there. Yellow flag is out of the boat, and who's that? And oh no, that's Lucifer off as well at the exit of the swimming pool. It was ticking along, this race was, and all of a sudden we've had a couple of incidents in the matter of minutes here, matter of moments there. And as a Bannister is going to have to come into the pits, and that's an extra more than 5 seconds there for a wing change there. So that is pretty disappointing indeed there from Bannister's point of view. Here's Reflections. Here's Percy right behind his teammate Reflections here. Oh, and almost into the back of his teammate there, Reflections, letting his teammate through there. I said the team orders is probably not too apparent in Formula 2. However, I think it was there, but I think that was kind of very much Reflections as on a different strategy at the moment. Then Reflections going long in this race, whilst Percy has gone for a very short, well, not so short stint, has he? He's one of the earlier runners coming into the pits. Toy Coin has got a beautiful 7-second gap between himself and Mushroom here. The gap will probably disappear quite quickly. Knowles has got a 3-second penalty, and Knowles, I think, is in holiday here tonight, isn't he? Because he's very unlike Knowles to have penalties, isn't he? Vessier is now springing the undercut here, so into the pits comes the pole sitter. I was absolutely surprised that Vessier lost the lead and second position. Now, it's not what I was expecting there, but that is the beauty. Expect the unexpected in ALR. Out of the pits now comes Vessier. Also into the pits is R2B as well. So where is Vessier going to come out? He needs to come out to a clean bill of track here. Sloth is just coming down the pit straight as well, and this is crucial, I think, for Vessier. If he can get out in front, he is going to yellow flag in 3. What has happened in 3? It's Luke who is, I think, has he got damage? I don't think he has he? But it looks like he's recovering from somewhere. R2B coming out of the pits as well, and I think Lucifer and Chewy are going to get past them here. Bannister's got a 3-second penalty. Lucifer is through. Oh, yes, he is through there, which means R2B is going to be knowing in that cockpit, isn't he? Because he wants a clean bill of air, which means he would have now put his toe down here. Toy Coin then, who is helping him 30 position. So this is not good news at all for RTP, but he cannot have any serious, not any silly lunges, can he? Vessier, 12 seconds to gap is then. I'm surely the gamer and Troy's going to have to come into the pits, aren't they? They're going to have to react to the early pit stop, and they are indeed there for Troy. And Sick as Muck is Reflections, and Sick as Muck has had an issue there into the pits. There comes Troy then, and now there's now they're going to work. Then there's the car. Vessier's got a 3-second penalty. That could be crucial there. Knowlesy takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Gamer out in front position there. Where is Vessier? That is the question. Is this one lap extra then going to help them? They're coming out of the pits now. Troy is off the pit limiter. So is there's Gamer. There's Troy, and Gamer's lost second position there. Troy, he's gone right off there, and that may be, I think that Troy may have just about got away with that. Percy's having a fourth as well now, and he's going to be joining this battle sooner or later, isn't he? He does have a couple more laps of tyre use on those super soft tyres. But Vestier with one lap more experience, it's all over the back of Troy now as he comes down into Mirabeau then. And I think that Troy then, of course, I'm wondering if he hit a bump on the outside and went off. Usually if you go over that pit lane line, you only get a warning, I think, then, don't you? You don't get I think you have to do it like twice or 3 times before you get a penalty. So Troy should be okay, but that's not going to that's not going to impress. Is that Jay Higgs said that's not going to impress him either. It's not going to impress Vessier, is he? As unfortunately, is he just went over the white line, didn't he? Toy Coyne would be liking to use his tyres a bit more sprightly than this at the moment, but unfortunately he is stuck behind the Charus and Jay Higgs. But it's Jay Higgs' Jay Higgs can do whatever he wants, so can he, of course, because it's not Toy Coyne making it fit his strategy choices. It is Jay Higgs, but he's on the outside here. Jay Higgs defending, and beautifully defended as well. But Toy Coyne is going to get very frustrated into the pits. Comes Knowlesy at the moment there. Even on the battle for the lead then, which is between Vessier and Yellow Flag then in the back there. Swanshank's had an issue. Percy is now a fastest man again then out there. He is flying there, isn't he? He's 3.5, well, he's less than 3.5 seconds now. He's 3.1 seconds away from Gamer. Gamer would be, I wonder if Gamer's thinking he should have reacted on the lap the Vessier did. I'm sure he's thinking that then, but it's so difficult, isn't it? And here comes Toy Coyne. And Jay Higgs has got up the inside into Sander Bob then, but I think it's going to not be enough. It isn't enough. Toy Coyne up into 8th position there, and now, well, he's in the points already actually, but he does have a 3-second deficit to himself and R2 beat, which means he can now start to pull away in this one. Lucifer's doing an absolute magical job on these soft tyres, and so is Jay Higgs as well, to be fair. Then I should really dish out the compliments here then everywhere, and of course I don't know, of course they are not compliments on it, it's just absolute skill of the drivers there to keep these soft tyres going at this late stage of the race as well. But they, on one of these guys, are doing a bit of goal hanging for a safety car potentially, waiting, because safety car can happen at any twist and turn in this race, can it? And I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car already. Slop is now in the tunnel. Oh dear! And Higgs has gone into the Armco there. And I remember Massa did something similar in 2011 Monaco, didn't he? Where Hamilton overtook himself into the tunnel, didn't he? Of course, Massa very much in the headlines at the moment, isn't he? For his challenging his Swanshanks is not like him, Mirabeau, up there at all, is he? He's gone off again. Of course, Massa is challenging Hamilton. Sorry, not challenging Hamilton. Massa, of course, is challenging the FIA because they knew about that race fixing scandal in 2008 Singapore with the Renault team, weren't they? So I think it's more of, I don't think it's going to be about the championship itself. I think it's more about the losses that Massa would have made because for not becoming champion, really. And if the FIA did know about it, it's kind of shame on them, isn't it? Right? Because Renault should have just been, they knew about it, then why didn't they just exclude Renault? That's my opinion. Right, so we just got a serious question in 15th position there as well then. Anyway, that's history for the moment, but it may not be, as it may come out to roost then there on them. Of course, also pre-offering ones back as well. I cannot wait then. It's Friday, I've already got booked off from work. I am also going to probably, I don't know what I'm going to buy yet. I might, I'm not sure I'm going to have to eat then. I might get some old Magic Stars or something as well then to enjoy Practice 1 and Practice 2. Oh my goodness me! And Troy has left the session, and this could rob Troy of a Grand Prix win here in Monaco. And Vessier, who had the most appalling of start, is all of a sudden going to take the lead in the Monaco Grand Prix. Troy is going to be absolutely devastated with this. Slop has got a 3-second penalty. And the High-Tech team are going to be loving this, and of course, High-Tech then was very much in the news for the wrong reason. And Vessier leads the Monaco Grand Prix. And oh my goodness me, how unlucky is that from Troy that he took the lead at the start? An incredible start there. But his connection, his internet connection or whatnot, something has gone wrong for Troy, and he has lost the lead on lap 16 out of 21 here. Troy is going to be absolutely devastated. Now it's a high-tech 1-2, and this could be the first 1-2 in Formula 2 history here. And it is Gamer and Bessie who have driven a superlative race so far. And there's Percy in the background. Could also spring up the, could also get in the podium as well and into the wall. That is down at Mirabeau, I think it is. Jay Higgs trying to get out of there, isn't there? As he's now been passed by Cirrus Mushroom and Bannister. Oh my goodness gracious me, but oh my word. And Troy is going to be absolutely devastated. He's going to be furious, isn't he? Furious, Troy is and who could blame him then? Because for 16 laps then in this Monaco Grand Prix, he has been perfect, hasn't he? Apart from the pit lane escapade, apart from the pit lane escapade. But apart from that, he has been absolutely perfect. And Troy is going to be... He's going to be livid here, isn't he? Because that's 10 points lost already. And now Gamer could do a double win here. Is this the first double win of the season? No, I think that... I'm sure that Lights did it, didn't he? In Australia, he did, didn't he? So, but Gamer is going to do could do a double win here in Monaco as well. Vessier, of course, has got a 3-second penalty. Percy is now up into third position there. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Percy. Great stuff, and really good. That's really good stuff there from Percy, who's come from the other back of the field. There, Kai Dow, can Troy get back in then because he's just losing time hand over fist now? Can he salvage something from an alien? From an alienating car at the moment, and look, there he is in the foreground there. We don't know what's happened to Troy yet then. We haven't had no information then, but the man who's leading the Formula 2 Championship, who had an absolute nightmare sprint race, is now an absolute dream feature race has just turned to a major nightmare for Troy. And my goodness gracious me, that is absolute devastating indeed. Yeah, Vessier of course, Gamer needs to keep within 6 seconds of Vessier with just 4 laps to go in this race. Can Gamer then get his third win in F2 this season? He's had 2 in the sprint. Can he get his first feature race win of the season as well? Pretty impressive stuff indeed. Cirrus Mushroom has finally got past Bannister here, and unfortunately we missed that there, but Cirrus Mushroom now up into 12th position here. No penalties for Mushroom, and he might be able to scrape a 10th position maybe if Luke gets another penalty. Well, he needs another 2 actually. I thought he had 6 seconds there, Luke. But at the moment there is actually Reflections getting that final point at the moment. Troy is still not in at the moment there. We're keeping an eye on the drivers behind him, the likes of Kai Dow, who might get another 4th position here. Sick as mug out of the race then, and that is into the, oh gosh, then the car right in the middle of the circuit there. We're going to have a late safety car like we did in the sprint. No, we're not, I don't think, as the car has already been removed there. Now then, Suprema are going to be absolutely loving this, and with already 10, they've had some good, but they had good points in the sprint race. Now they're having some great points in the feature race as well, and this could get even better with an extra 2 points, which will move them onto 12 here tonight. Toy Coin's got a 3-second penalty. That may drop him behind Luke then. It does at the moment here. That is going to be crucial then. It is going to be penalties later on in this one. Well, Sloth, well, actually it's going to be Sloth, but no, then it's not even close, is it? Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, I might have to lie down then, maybe put on a bit of TikTok potentially. Kai down now up in 4th position there. Troy has not come back in, and he's been gone for a couple of laps now, and this is painful to watch now, isn't it, for all you Troy fans out there? The man who's leading the F2 Championship there with just 3 laps to go in this race. This Monaco has been an absolute nightmare, hasn't it? Unfortunately then, and but Troy does have I think he needs to be in the car to get the points as well, I believe, Ben, as well. So this may so even if Troy's AI does finish 6th position, he may not get that 8 points at the moment. The gap is going to come down quite quickly at this stage. It is still 15 seconds between himself and R2B as Chewy and Jay Higgs there, who have had a good scrap all the way through this race, haven't they? Oh, is Vessier hitting the outside armco there. It's still a high-tech 1-2 at the moment. And there they are, an absolutely superlative Grand Prix between feature race between those 2 drivers. And the height, this could be the first 1-2 in Formula 2 history here tonight, and one of the most difficult circuits on the calendar of Monaco as well. But Percy is not going to let them have a photo finish, are they? So, but I think that Percy will be very happy with that 3rd position and getting some good points himself. and the MP Motorsport. And if he finishes where he is there, he will actually double his account from 15 to 30 points as well. I think that Mo Percy's a bit a bit too far back in the championship challenge, but a bit too far back in the championship challenge. But I think that anything could happen in Formula 2. We've had a lot of up and downs this year already, haven't we? Slot flying the flag quite nicely for Virtuosi tonight, then getting 2 points then as a stand-in for Lightsen, who's unfortunately not been able to race here tonight. So Sloth, a good drive as well here tonight. Brilliant stuff, Ben, and he could potentially. I'm not sure. He's got 6 seconds of penalties here. I think he's just too far back at the moment. So Troy's back in the session now. It's taken him quite a bit of time to get back in, and the damage has been done, unfortunately, for Troy. And he might be able to get in front of Nosey, because Nosey's had 9 seconds of penalty here, so he might be able to take control of the car and get back in and maybe pinch 2 points off his teammate here. But no, it's not what Troy really wanted, was it? Really, Troy wanted the win, didn't he? There, and as I said, he was absolute inch perfect in this race, wasn't he? So unlucky, isn't it? Absolute devastation there for Troy. But of course, the season is long, then, isn't it? There, but he's going to may look back at this one and rue this. Not really much you can do, is there, really, and when you have technical gremlins like that. And here are the high-tech team then at the top of the hill then as they start their final push then on the final lap then. And Gamer is going to is on course to take his 3rd win of the season in Formula 2. He is loving life in Formula 2, isn't he, Gamer? Is unfortunately he had to step away from gold, hasn't he, then, when he had a great start in gold as well. He's loving this this category of game this season, isn't he? He's doing an absolute mighty fine job. Gamer is in both the it was in gold, but definitely in Formula 2 here. 3rd race win of the season, and this one is going to be I think is going to be very, very good, sweet indeed. Then, of course, an action-packed sprint race, and a bit more of a not too action-packed feature race, hasn't there? But it's certainly found enough intrigue in this one. But Gamer is not going to care about that, is he? There, he hasn't put a foot wrong. He hasn't got no penalties, and I think actually Vescher's going to finish 3rd, I believe, then, because of the penalties he's got. Because Vescher's going to finish 2nd, actually, unbeknownst to me, then, whilst I've been waffling on. Out of the final turn, then, and Gamer wins the Monaco feature race win. He's a double winner here in Formula 2 tonight. There, it is perfect for Gamer, almost perfect for the high-tech team. And almost had a 1-2, but in the end, a 1-3 would not be too bad either. But Gamer wins there with 2nd position. Percy, great drive from Percy to come from near the back of the field. Then, it might even be the back of the field. And Vesser in 3rd position there. But Vesser, I think, he'll be querying his start with the high-tech team after that, then, because he had a pretty difficult start, didn't he? But Gamer, perfect. Percy does still finish 2nd there, albeit he has left the session now. Got a lot of penalties starting to rain in now as well, haven't we? It's in the final stage of this one. And I think Reflections will get the final point as well. So good stuff indeed, though, for Reflections. Luke, unfortunately, will be finishing just outside the top 10 now, unfortunately for himself there. Troy does finish 5th in the end after coming back in the session with just 2 laps to go. After that technical gremlin on lap 15 that cost him the race win, didn't it, here tonight there? But of course, I don't think Gamer's going to be too concerned about that at the moment. All he's concerned about is a 3-time Formula 2 winner here tonight, and 2 sprint race wins, a feature race in Monaco as well. That is really put the pain of him for the high-tech right behind him. Brilliant stuff indeed, and very, very good indeed then that was. And Gamer, well, deja vu, isn't it, here? As, he is flying the flag. Once again, there, Gamer is for the high-tech team. Magnificent stuff, indeed. And lofting the trophy. Brilliant, magnificent stuff, indeed, then, for this one. And, yes. Ooh. My word. Right, let's take a final look at the classification then from the feature race then. Gamer, double winner here tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed then. His third race win of his Formula 2 career. Second position was Percy in the end then with Vessier finishing third. Kai Dahl in fourth with fifth position is Troy. Sixth position, Knowlesy. R2 beat seventh. Toy Coin in eighth. Ninth is Sloth, and 10th position is Luke. 11th position and just outside the points. Hang on, that's not right. I think it was Reflections, wasn't it? Outside the points was Luke in the 11th position. 12th was Serious Smasher, Bannister 13th, Chewy 14th, 15th Lucifer, and then 16th was Jay Higgs, and 17th Swanshank's retirements was Sickles Muck and Jinner, who retired from this Monaco Grand Prix. And let's see, we've got Vessier in the commentary booth, and I think we have got Lucas Percy in here as well then. Percy, what an incredible drive there from 15th on the grid there to take a second today. My goodness me, you was absolutely flying. But before we talk about that then, the sprint race, goodness gracious me, you was flying in that as well. But it all came a bit unstuck in that wet race in the sprint.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate about the sprint, obviously getting that stupid drive through. No, I don't know why I've been given that, but the game's the game and it sometimes glitches out. But other than that, yeah, the sprint race was really fun, especially in the wet conditions. Was quite a lot of carnage on lap one. I think coming into the Noval chicane, about 5 of us all just went straight on, and unfortunately I got some reason I got a 5-second time penalty. Everyone else got let off, but as usual, I'm the one that gets penalised. But yeah, the rest of the sprint race was good. It was a bit of a dodgy call on my side to go for the super softs when it was still pretty damp, and I was expecting it to dry up quite a lot more than it did. But yeah, I still take the positives that the pace was good.
It certainly was, and of course both in wet or dry, and you was absolutely loving life out there. And you made your way up in the third position as well. But of course, before you did have you came in the pits very early on. Then very much going for a monstrous undercut. Then was you confident that was the way to do it to get through this field?
I was hoping, because I knew obviously I had Jay Hings in the party, and the game said I was going to come out just ahead of him, which I did. But I was hoping there was a bigger gap between me and the cars in front, but the gap was only about 3.5 seconds, and by about a lap because of how much the super softs were quicker than the softs. I just caught back up, and I think I'd lost another 5 or 6 seconds to Bavessier ahead, and that kind of stuffed me up a little bit. But other than that, yeah, the undercut was the way I wanted to go for since the start.
And then towards the end, then you were gaining on the high techs, but did you feel that they were just a bit too much out of reach then? Because the gap was quite tremendous before you came in the pitch. You did get it down to about 3 seconds in the end then, but did you think it was just a little too far out of reach then once they came out in front of you?
Yeah, I think it was. I think as soon as I got behind them, I think for the first 5 or 6 laps, I was managing to close by about 2 or 3 tenths a lap. But towards the end of my stint, when my tyres were on about 65%, I just started losing time. And towards the end, I think Bavessier's tyres was sort of dying off as well, and that was holding Gamer up a little bit. So I was able to catch up a little bit towards the end, but there wasn't enough laps to maybe try and have a little attack. But I'm still more than happy with P2 and my official debut.
Certainly was that as well. Of course, this is your first race for MP Motorsport. What a way to start as well, with a second position today. Magnificent stuff indeed. Vessier, great pole position earlier on the day then, but at the start then, you dropped down 2 positions. What happened at the start then? Was it too much wheel spin going into Sandoval?
Nah, I had a good launch. I just took it a bit too cautious on turn 1, which let Troy go round the outside. And then I had a bad run coming out, so X Gamer got through as well. So yeah, it was just being a bit too cautious on lap 1.
Do you regret that then? Because a lot of the Monaco Grand Prix, 50% of the Monaco Grand Prix is usually when in qualifying. Then, do you regret that maybe you could have pushed them out, maybe be a bit more aggressive at the start then, or at that time, did you think that this was still very much a long race? Then, you saw 21 laps in front of you, anything could have happened.
No, I just thought take it cautious because didn't want to get damaged in that race at all, as I would have just struggled and dropped down to the back.
And of course, you did come in the pit. You rolled the dice quite early on, and you came in the pits and very much then very much went for the undercut as well. Then you was absolutely flying out there, wasn't you? When that undercut came out, do you think then that you may have been able to overtake Troy then? Because Troy did come out the pits, didn't he? And he went over the white line there. Did you? What did you make of that?
It was a bit close. If I was a little bit closer to him on the exit, I would have possibly have reported it, but nah, I was too far back, so it didn't really matter.
I'm such a stirrer, and I love it. And then of course, then you did get third in the end today. Those penalties may have cost you. Then was it? Where was you getting the
Yeah.
penalties? Then was it down in the New Val chicane? Was it?
Yeah, I got one on turn 1, lap 1, trying to leave Troy a bit of room, and Nouvelle chicane trying to get the perfect line, and I got one at the final part of the swimming pool section before Raskas. Just got on the curb a little bit too much, which gave me another warning. So yeah, kind of frustrating, but it happens.
It certainly does, but it's a good podium today. Then I think that's your first podium of the season in Formula 2. Hang on a minute.
Yep.
It is indeed. Goodness me. So do you think that now that this is going to be a springboard going on to Spain in a week's time?
Hopefully. I was obviously in the F1 cars yesterday in bronze. I had good pace. Hopefully I can bring that into F2 as well.
Good stuff. Well done today, Vesher. Brilliant drive to third position. And let's come to Gamer, who's a double winner today, winning the sprint and the feature race. Gamer, if you could tell us about what happened in the sprint race, I would be much obliged, because it all passed me by. It was an incredible sprint race there. But when that safety car came out, did you think this is where I could win it then, knowing all the penalties that was going on around you?
Well, first at sprint race it was a tricky start for me, as I went from P8 to P12, I believe, so I never thought about even finishing on the podium after that, but I think I showed some really good pace in the wets, and that was perfect for me. And once the safety car came out, I knew I had a shot at winning the race, but I was a bit scared that we wouldn't make the safety car, because Troy, I think it was ahead of me, was on slicks, so, and he was barely catching the safety car. But yeah, I was lucky that Bannister in the lead, I think, was slowing quite a bit down on the restart, otherwise we wouldn't have made it. So I was really lucky with that safety car at the end.
Well, did you think about going on to the dry tyres for the sprint race then? Because I thought personally that it might have been a bit too wet, but with Formula 2 there's no intermediate tyres then. So did you think about going on the dry tyres, or maybe coming in for, or was you just going to hang it out there? Or, well, it seems like you're hanging down the end then, but did you cross your mind that you might have gone on the dry tyres, or was it just a no-go?
Well, first when we all made our pit stop, I didn't even realize that someone to slicks. So once I realized that, I was asking about the weather, and they say it's gonna be drying up, and I was thinking to pit, but it was too late to pit. If I would have pitted, I would have ended up in P9. So yeah, I knew if I'd done that, my race would be done. So I decided to stay out and take a risk with it, and it worked out brilliantly.
Certainly did. And then for the feature race itself, and you was it was very much you three of Vessia, yourself, and Troy then very much running away with the race for most of it. And of course, when you seen your teammate come in the pits a lap earlier, what was you concerned about the undercut then? Was you did you think, oh, he's got me? You wouldn't been able to do anything about it, or was you still quite cool, as you like, in the car?
Well, to be fair, I thought the overcuts was actually faster around here, because especially in those F2 cars, the tires are completely cold, so I was quite surprised I saw him gaining on me. So normally I would have stayed out another lap, but because he was gaining that fast, I knew that I had to pit as well, because otherwise I would lose so much time to him. But I know he had a penalty and he took another penalty, so that was really lucky for me. Otherwise he would have won the race, which I think could have been deserved, as he had some brilliant pace, so GG to him. But also to Troy, he was really unlucky, and after he led every lap until he disconnected, he deserved to win. Although we were All three of us were really close, so yeah, he deserved it.
It was a very good race to watch, I must say. Very intense, but you did take the 2 wins tonight there, and you're going to be really jumping up the standings, and High Tech are very much going to be jumping up as well. Then after a very difficult race in Imola, do you consider yourself a championship contender now with that double race win here tonight in Monaco?
Well, today went really good, perfect actually, except not taking pole. But I also don't have to be blind and ignore the fact that I only took 35 points in the first few races, so now I actually doubled my points. So I was struggling before in these cars, so I will have to wait until Spain and see if I can stay at this level, because the first few races were really bad for me. So I need to keep up the pace if I want to be a championship contender.
Very good stuff indeed, and we hope you are a championship contender along with all 19 other 90 drivers. Fantastic stuff, gamer today. Well done for a double race win. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And in Monaco as well. That's absolutely outlandishly brilliant, isn't it? For second today was Percy, and third was Vessier as well. High Tech are going to be over the moon after what happens in Imola a week ago then. We will be on to Spain next week then for Formula 2. That's going to really confuse me. Gosh, I'll probably be talking about all kinds of nonsense next week. On gold, then, I think it'll be Far in the commentary box for the first time ever. I cannot wait to hear that. I am looking forward to that. That's going to be mega. I think he's got a partner, either Pillars or Smithy or Mighty will be in the commentary box as well. Whilst I'll probably be laying the sun somewhere, and Nosey will also be laying the sun somewhere as well. Maybe together, it depends, but Nosey doesn't know that yet. But then on silver, I'll be back in the comments box for Canada and for bronze as well. Cannot wait. Formula 2 will be staying in Europe for the Spanish Grand Prix. That is the itinerary for next week. We will see you on Sunday then. But from now